The movie opens with a scene of a man named Jake running through the jungle, desperately trying to escape an unseen assailant. As he flees, his attacker relentlessly pursues him with a blade. Jake, wounded from a blade strike, reaches the edge of a mountain. With no other options, he leaps into the water below. As Jake falls, a rock strikes his head, rendering him unconscious. Later that night, a boat of fishermen passes by and spots him. They pull Jake aboard, and seeing his severe injuries, take him to their home to tend to him. The fisherman's wife notices a distinctive mark on Jake and warns her husband that keeping him could be dangerous. Since their village is small and Jake's appearance suggests he might be a soldier, they decide to take him to the nearby military camp for help. At the camp, the fisherman's spouse informs them that she has stitched up his wound and can no longer care for him. No one appreciates her language, so a translator explains his words to the senior officer. Unfortunately, this translator is not very skilled and often conveys the opposite meaning, confusing everyone. The woman then explains in her own language that every 6 years, a death warrior visits the temple, leaving no survivors. Thus, everyone at the camp is destined to die. After leaving Jake at the camp, she returns to her home. When Jake regains consciousness, an officer asks him who he is and what his purpose is. Remarkably, Jake remains indifferent, not even recalling his own name. The officer informs him that they have taken his photos and fingerprints, and will soon find out his identity. As his information has been sent to the base, she shows him a device and tells him they found it with him. Jake doesn't recognize the device, and guesses it might be used to detect radiation. He asks where his other belongings are. Hearing this, the officer begins to suspect that Jake is hiding something, and is just pretending not to remember anything. They clearly intend to beat him into talking. As soon as one of the officers tries to strike him, Jake defends himself, elbowing the officer and taking him down. Another officer then moves in to attack, but Jake defeats him with a kick. He overpowers everyone, not thinking about anything else but relying on his combat skills, which allows him to incapacitate every soldier who confronts him. Amid the chaos, the senior officer manages to inject Jake with a sedative, causing him to lose consciousness. When he wakes up, the officer questions him again, asking who he is, his purpose, and if he is a spy. Jake responds that he remembers being saved by fishermen, but doesn't recall how he ended up with them. He only knows that someone very powerful is coming to kill them all. The officer is shocked upon hearing this. The officer takes Jake out to show him the surrounding area, hoping he can familiarize himself with it. Suddenly, a stranger appears who was once a warrior. As he arrives, a conflict erupts with the troopers. Despite being unarmed, he skillfully fights off all the troopers, using only his hands and legs to protect himself from their bullets and eliminate them one by one. After defeating everyone, he urges Jake to hurry and leave with him. Although Jake doesn't recognize the warrior clearly knows Jake. Trusting the stranger, Jake follows him, and together they continue to fend off the troopers along their escape route. Then, they arrived at a massive field. Emerging from the bushes, they were met by several peculiar-looking humans, all of whom were warriors who recognized Jake, though he didn't remember them. The warriors were equally confused. Wondering why Jake didn't recognize them, before they could take Jake to the temple, the officer and her companions arrived and attacked. Jake was captured once more. When questioned, he repeated that he didn't remember anything, only that these people seemed to know him and that he had some connection to them. He urgently warned them to run away because it was dangerous, and they would all die. He added that he remembered running through the jungle, trying to save himself from someone. Hearing this, the officer decided to take Jake and her troopers into the jungle to search. As they ventured deeper, Jake began to recall fragments of his memory. Before he could piece it all together, they were ambushed by blades. The troopers started firing back in the direction of the attack, but they couldn't see where the enemy was. Some troopers were killed, and others fled to save their lives. The captain sensed something and smiled as he looked at a tree. It became clear that he was seeing something invisible to the others. Suddenly, an alien emerged from the tree. The captain fired bullets at it, hitting the alien multiple times. Although the alien fell, its wounds instantly healed, and it got up to attack the captain, grabbing him by the neck. Orange light emanated from the alien's body, showcasing its immense power, alongside blue light from other parts of its body. Meanwhile, Jake and the officer were running away when Jake fell into a pit. The officer remained above ground, but was soon attacked and killed by a blade. Jake falls into the pit and finds a man named Wiley sitting there. Wiley asks Jake if he remembers him, but Jake responds with a blank expression. Frustrated, Wiley begins to hit Jake, engaging him in a fight with a sword, his legs, and pieces of wood in an attempt to jog Jake's memory. Despite his efforts, it's all in vain. Eventually, Wiley calms down and explains to Jake that the attacker in the jungle is an alien known as the Death Warrior, who has come from another planet. This alien's sole purpose is to destroy humanity and the world. Wiley tells Jake that only a warrior can defeat this alien, and Jake is their warrior. Just then, other companions arrive to take Jake to the temple. Among them is a female warrior, who was once Jake's friend, but he doesn't remember her either. Wiley leads Jake to a round structure on a wall, and explains that every 6 years, a planet passes by the Earth, opening a portal through which the Death Warrior enters their world. This round structure is that portal. Wiley emphasizes that no ordinary person can defeat the alien, because of its immense power and danger. For centuries, the temple's experts have been training people to become warriors to face this threat. If a human warrior cannot defeat the Death Warrior, the alien will annihilate the entire world. Wiley tells Jake that he is their last hope, and must defeat the alien warrior. Jake listens to all this in shock, but starts to understand his importance. He now dons the same special clothes as the other warriors. These clothes are not ordinary. They use advanced technology that makes the wearer invisible to the alien. This means they can become invisible just like the alien. After departing for their mission to chase the alien, a warrior points out a planet in the sky to Jacob. He explains that this is the alien's home planet, and it appears every 6 years. Before the planet leaves, they must either trap the alien or send it back through the portal in the temple. If the planet departs, the portal will close for another 6 years, leaving no way to return the alien, which would lead to widespread destruction. The warrior continues, explaining that every 6 years, the alien fights 9 warriors it selects. If any warrior refuses to fight, the alien becomes enraged and destroys everything in its path, humans, animals, and birds alike. It is considered an honor to be chosen to fight, and even if a warrior dies, the lives of many others are saved. Jake notes that there are only 8 warriors. Wiley explains that they were originally 9, but 1 warrior was killed the previous night. They had found and attacked the alien, injuring it significantly. During the chaos, Jake fell into the water while trying to escape, leading to their temporary defeat. Now in the jungle, the warriors tell Jake that he is the alien's true target. They instruct him to move ahead alone, while they keep watch. As Jake proceeds, the alien appears before him. Before Jake can engage, the other warriors attack the alien with their swords, injuring it further. Suddenly, someone attacks Jake amidst the chaos. Jake had been unconscious, but when he came to his senses, he found the captain standing before him, alive. Despite everyone thinking he was dead, the captain reveals that he knows a lot about the alien, and warns Jake that their current plan isn't right. He explains that the alien's wounds heal very quickly, so they must attack it all together, instead of one by one. As the captain, gravely injured, lay dying, he handed his sword to Jake. Jake then goes to Wiley, who explains that when the alien first emerged from its path, it attacked and killed one of their warriors. During their battle with the alien, it chose Jake to fight because it saw him as brave. Wiley admits that when it was his turn to face the alien, he also ran away in fear. The alien spared them both because it doesn't kill those it deems cowards. As they continue talking, a man's corpse suddenly falls in front of them. Seeing this, Jake rushes over to check and is deeply saddened. Discover that another one of their companions has been killed. When the rest of the group arrives, they decide to head to the temple and confront the alien there, as the planet's path is about to align with the temple's portal. Once they reach the temple, they manage to force the alien to come to them. They launch a coordinated attack using swords and kicks. But despite their combined efforts, they struggle against the alien's power, and he easily throws them aside. Seeing the dire situation, Jake tries to run away again. This forces Wiley to face the alien alone. A fierce battle ensues between Wiley and the alien, both fighting equally with their swords. But eventually, the alien overpowers and kills Wiley. A female warrior stops Jake from fleeing, revealing that Wiley was her father, who had trained her to be a warrior. She becomes emotional, and her words move Jake, prompting him to resolve not to run, but to face the alien head-on. A soldier arrives with some fishermen who bring bombs. Wiley's daughter, injured in the fight, is treated by a fisherman's wife. The alien returns, attacking with his arm gun and a blade. Everyone hides, but the fisherman's wife bravely shoots at the alien. They mistakenly think the alien is dead, but Jake knows better and engages him in combat again. A fierce battle ensues, with both sides exchanging heavy blows. Jake starts to gain the upper hand, but the cunning alien uses his other powers to break everything around him and injures Jake, who falls to the ground, struggling to continue. The alien grabs Jake by the throat, but Jake realizes the alien's weakness is releases fire. He uses this to his advantage, leading the alien into the flames and injuring him severely. As the planet reaches the temple, the portal to the other world opens. The female warrior arrives and shoots the alien with a powerful gun, piercing his body. The soldier then throws a bomb at Jake, adding to the chaos. After grabbing the bomb, Jake places it in the alien's wound, kicks him, and throws him through the portal. Just before it closes, there's a massive explosion in the other world, destroying the alien and shattering his body into pieces. As the portal seals shut, everything returns to normal. The fisherman's wife approaches Jake and tells him that he is a true warrior, praising his bravery. Before leaving, the soldier looks toward the closed portal and says, "See you in 6 years," implying that if another alien comes, they'll face the same challenge again. With this note, the film ends. We hope you enjoyed our video. Watch the next recaps on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.